So I denounced the occult, right? I popped my spiritual Elekes. Now what, right? I denounced the occult. Now what? I was a child of Eshu, which is the crossroads, right? I popped my beads. What happens to my power? Okay, you might ask, right? What happened to my power is it got bigger. Because before, and I channeled that I did actually channel that I had that I was born through a curse, right? But I ended up finding out more recently through physically through. Wow, I'm not gonna restart that. I ended up finding out recently that there was a prayer that was done over me, a Lazarus prayer. My mother was sick, and when she was pregnant with me, because my mother got pregnant with me, and there was some type of spiritual war when she was in high school, right? And I had a relative that prayed over me the Lazarus prayer, and it's basically allowed me and my mother to still be here in this realm, right? So with that being said, if a Lazarus prayer was already prayed over me, I've already always been connected to the crossroads. I've always had some type of blessing and curses over me in regards to my divinity, right? A year and something ago, I was posting it on TikTok because I got led to look at my eyeball, and there's a cross in my eyeball, right? So that's why I'm wearing Elekes, right? So that means I already had this sight. Crucifixion is in my eyeball, right? I already had this sight. It's already a part of me. So whenever I put the Elekes on, I remember when I got those Elekes from my Baba, which used to be my ex. He gave me those Elekes in the middle of spiritual warfare, and my body was sick. It took me 2-3 days to even get used to it, and yeah, it took me 2 or 3 days to get used to it. And I have much respect for all tradition and practices and stuff, but what happens? What happens now that I broke my beads? I step into my power. I get all of my blessings. I'm fully awakened, highly gifted, set apart. So when you have an anointing and appointing, we all have our ways to the Christ, to God, right? So you have a different story. You might have to go through, experience certain stuff through the occult to be able to have a message and be able to bring people to God, right? So I popped my beads. I threw everything away, right? But when I made my decks, I made decks to channel God. So that was my way to build a relationship. That's why my decks, I don't buy decks from people. I literally use God to make my decks. Okay? I'm just more turned up. That's it.